Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I am Abu Sakib Bin Lutful Hassan. This is my PSM1 project presentation. My supervisor is Dr. Zuriyadi binti Muhammad Yunus, and the system I'm currently working on is UTM Lost and Found. So the topics that will be discussed in this presentation are: the first one is introduction, the second is problem background, the third is proposed solution, the fourth project aim, and fifth project objectives, and then project scopes, and after that project requirements. Those are functional requirements and non-functional requirements, and after that, I'll be discussing about the methodology chosen, and after that, I'll explain the included system design diagrams. Those are my use case diagrams, my class diagram, my system architectural design, and finally the ERD diagram. And finally, I'm going to finish it with my project demo. So the first part is introduction. For the introduction, uh, I'm going to, as my system is UTM lost and found, so I'm going to introduce about lost and found applications. So online lost and found web applications have gained popularity as a convenient way to report and search for missing items. So these platforms serve as a central hub connecting those who have lost something with those who have found it, and making the process of locating and returning lost items or found items, returning lost items easier and faster. And users can easily report a lost item by providing relevant details such as description and contact information, which are then made public on the internet, and increasing the chances of the item being discovered and returned. And these web applications often include search features to help users find lost items based on keyword, location, category, and date. And despite their growing popularity, there is a lack of research on the usefulness and user experiences on this platform. So I'm aiming to bridge this gap by analyzing previous studies to explore the characteristics, capabilities, impact on the recovery process, and user perception and experiences of online lost and found web applications. And from the research experience, try to gather the requirements and create a web-based centralized system for the convenience of UTM staff and students. So the problem background mainly focuses on the existing system that is currently inside UTM. So the current lost and found system that is currently in UTM suffers from several inconveniences and challenges. Firstly, it relies on individuals posting about their lost or found items in various groups or platforms, making it difficult to centralize the information, and this results in a very scattered advertisement of lost and found items across the different channels, and making it challenging for people to locate their belongings or connect with those who have found them. And additionally, there's a lack of designated groups or pages specifically dedicated to lost and found items, further complicating the process. And moreover, there is often a lack of updated information about the status of lost and found items. Once an item is reported as lost or found, there is a very little follow-up or communication regarding its resolution. The original owner may forget to update or delete their posts after the item is found, causing confusion. Similarly, the person who found the item may not provide updates on whether the item has been returned to its rightful owner, and it certainly leads to uncertainty. And for following these problems, the proposed solution that I'm going to address is the for the to address the issues, there is a need for a more efficient and centralized lost and found application. Such an application would provide a platform where individuals can report their lost items and provide relevant details. And it also allows those who find items to easily submit the information about the found items. And also, by having a dedicated platform, it would be easier to connect lost items with their owners and facilitate the return process. And additionally, the application could incorporate features such as notification, updates, and verification mechanism to ensure the accurate and up-to-date information regarding the status of lost or found items. And hence, I have proposed to design and implement a centralized lost and found web application dedicated to UTM to solve the issue. So my project aim is the aim of the project is to come up with an application that is centralized to help people get track and find their lost belongings with efficiency. So the objectives of this project are the first one is to analyze the existing system, existing lost and found system of UTM, and then to design the UTM lost and found system, and then to implement the centralized UTM lost and found system, and lastly, testify all the use cases and find out if there is any missing or errors. And the project scopes that is as this system will be a web-based application that will be developed to simplify the process of finding the lost or giving back the found items to the one whom it belongs to. This project should run with these following scopes. The first one, the source of requirement of the student requirements is the students, the lecturers, the faculty members, and staffs of the university who have lost or found a item. The second is this application should allow the user to get proper notification of the item that the user has posted. And the third one, that this application should allow the admin to perform a few basic admin tasks. And the fourth one is the user needs to register before performing any operation. And the fifth one is this application is for users who post items post for items lost or found inside university premises. And the next one is this application does not support any outside users of University Technology Malaysia. And the next one is the application allows the user to find items by category. And lastly, the application keeps track of lost, found, claimed, and unclaimed items to a limited time. And for the project requirements, the requirements gathered functional requirements. That is, functional requirements define the actions and capabilities of a system that must possess, encompassing its features and functions. These requirements outline the essential behavior of the system in specific scenarios or situations. The list of functional requirements for the system is listed below. First is the system should be able to register UTM staff and students. The system will allow users to log in using email, username, and password. The system should have search by keyword option. The system should include searching by category. The system should allow the user to post about found items. The system should allow the user to post about the lost items also. And then the system should allow the user to report the found items. And also the system should allow the user to claim the lost items. And finally, the system should allow the user to chat with finder or mislayer or the person who have lost an item. So the non-functional project requirements that are here are a non-functional requirements refers to a specification that delineates the operational capabilities and constraints of a system, enhancing its functionality in areas such as speed, performance, reliability, and other aspects. The list of non-functional requirements for the system is listed below. The first one is the system user interface must be clean and user-friendly. The post of lost and found items should be visible on the home page. The system should have items listed with image and information. And finally, the system should be centralized. So for the methodology chosen, for the methodology choice, I'm proceeding with prototyping methodology. The prototyping methodology is an approach to software development that focuses on building quick and simplified versions of software to gather feedback, validate requirements, and refine the design. And it involves creating prototypes or mockups or the software's user interface. Mockups of the software user interface and functionality to demonstrate the intended features and interactions. There are several reasons for choosing the prototyping methodology, which includes the first, user feedback and validation. The prototyping allows us to gather early feedback and validation from the user and stakeholders. And requirement refinement. Prototyping methodology allows us the refinement and clarification of the requirements. And finally, the visualization. Prototyping method includes the visualization of the system using UI or UI UX design so that users and stakeholders can interact with it and give valuable comments and suggestions. For the steps of prototyping methodology, the first step of prototyping methodology is requirement analysis. First step is gathering the requirements, and after gathering the requirements, according to the requirement, we will design a simplified design for the software, and after following that design, we will prototype our user interface, and after prototype making the prototype, we will be showing the user interface to the users to get user reviews. If the user is satisfied with the prototype, we can directly proceed to development. But if the user is not satisfied with the user interface, so we need to refine it and get the refining idea from the user and design and make prototype until the user is satisfied with the user interface. And after that, we start with development, the coding, and after we finish the development, we do the testing of the system so that if we can see if there is any missing or if there is any error. And after that, we will do the deployment or we will deploy the system. And for the system design diagrams, that I have included, the first one is my use case diagram. So in my use case diagrams, I have included in total of 12 use cases. Those are registration, login, view lost items, view found items, view returned items, post lost items, post found items, report lost items, and claim found items, and also manage categories, manage posts, manage returned items. So there's two types of main users, admin and users. And for the users, there are two types of user, UTM student and UTM staff. So while the user can do the registration, and after doing the registration, the user can log into the system. After logging in, the user can view the lost items, view the found items, or view returned items. And also the user can post for lost items, post for found items, report lost items, or claim found items. And for the admin can also log into the system, view the items, view found items, and view returned items. And the admin can manage the categories, and admin can also manage the post, and admin can manage the returned items. And for system design diagram, next is my class diagram. So for the class diagram, these are my classes included, and these are the connection between the classes. This represents my whole system class diagram. And for the system design diagram third part, I have given here the architectural design. The architectural design that I have chosen for the system to follow is the MVC. The MVC is basically model view control architectural design. So the system architectural design chosen for the UTM lost and found system is MVC architectural design. The MVC architectural pattern is a design pattern commonly used in software development, especially in web application. And as my system is a web application, so I have chosen this system design diagram. So it separates an application into three interconnected components. The first is model, the view, and the controller. And each component has its own responsibilities, which promotes separation of concern and enhances maintainability and flexibility. And the flow of interaction in the MVC architecture typically follows these steps. The user interacts with the view by entering input or interacting with the user interface elements. And the view notifies the controller about the user's action. And the controller receives the input and decides on the appropriate actions and interacts with the model. The model performs the necessary operations, and updates its state, and notifies the controller and view of any changes. And the controller receives the updates from the model and selects the appropriate view or update the current view. And the view fetches the necessary data from the model and updates the user interface accordingly. And the updated view is presented to the user, and the cycle continues as the user interacts further. So for the system design diagram, the last part, I have included my ERD diagram. For my ERD diagram, these are my entities, and these mainly show the relationship between the entities. So this is the entity diagram for my whole system, and it is basically follows basically my database design also. So here the design shows how I'm going to create my database in details. And for the last part, let me go to my project demo, and let me show you my project demonstration. This is my project demo. So first, the user can, if the user is already registered to the system, the user can put in his email and password and login. If the user is new to the system, the user can register selecting here. And for registering, the user needs to put their graduate email, their password, and confirm their password. And by after filling in all the details, the user needs to sign up, and the user will be signed up, and the user can log in providing the email and password. And after the user log into the system, the user this is the application dashboard. So on the left side there's menu. There is a profile option, found items, lost items, returned items, categories, and logout. So there, here the found items highlights for the system that is shown here. Also the lost item highlights shown in the system. So, and also user can post from here, post a found item or post a lost item. So from the beginning, let me start. If from profile, if the user clicks profile, the user will be redirect to the user profile. And after the user clicks found items, the user will be redirected to the found item interface. So here the user can see all the found items listed here, and also the user can post from here. And if the user selects an item, the item details will be shown. Here is the item title, the date it was found, the where it was found, and the details is given here. And when the user try to claim the item, so user will be able to click this claim this item button, and after clicking the claim button, an automated message will be sent to the poster via the chat box that says the item belongs to this person. And here is a small part where this bar, by clicking this bar, this will be redirected to the post. And similarly for the lost item, if the user selects the lost item, so the lost item detail will be shown. Also the given details will be here on the category. And when the user report this item, so user will be able to report that this he or she have found this item. So it is similarly to the found item. And the returned items, the returned items are mainly listed here. So these items will be listed on the web server for the server for a limited amount of time until these are removed. And this will show a whole report that how many items have been returned to the owners. So this report is generated when the, let me show, when the user lists an item, and after listing the item, when the user selects this item is returned, this will be added to this interface. And for categories, when the user selects categories, the user will be able to see the categories that he can select from. And after selecting a category, the lost or found items based on the category will be shown to the user. And when the user clicks a returned item to see, the returned item details shows the posting details, how it was posted and who it was posted and whom it was returned to. And for the user can see here from chat box. From the chat box, he can see if someone have messaged him, or someone have claimed or reported any item posted by the user. So here the user can see. And let us restart to show the admin part. So if the user is an admin, the user can log in from here, and after giving in the email and password, the user can log in. And after logging in, the user can see the found items listed, and they can manage the items from here. Or similarly, for the lost item, the user can see the lost item listed here, and manage the items. And for the returned items, the admin have to go inside the item details, and he can delete or manage the item from here. And after that, the admin can add categories. So if there is already categories available, admin can delete from here. And after deleting, the category will be removed, and the items of this category will be saved to others category. And the user can add a new category, and the category will be added here, and users can post by selecting this category. So this was my whole system. Thank you for staying with me. And finally, after as at the last part of the presentation, thank you for staying with me, and assalamu alaikum.